Good afternoon and welcome to my presentation titled Organisational Culture Framework. My name is Kate McLean and I will be presenting to you this afternoon. Organisational culture is defined as the set of particular organisational tasks that are carried out by organisational members in a specific way that makes it different from other organisations or other units within that organisation. It's this unique nature of an organisation's culture and the effect that it has on the performance and profitability or success or failure of an organisation that has attracted so much interest by researchers, academics and management professionals over time. As organisational culture encompasses the collective values, beliefs and principles of the employees, there are many things that can affect this culture, for better or for worse. And the following presentation explores the implementation of an organisational cultural framework tool within a private hospital in regional Queensland to better capture and report on the current culture to support improved decision making. Healthcare is typically populated by people who are caring types and like to care for others, and typically these people are not known for their drive for wealth, worldly possessions and desire to climb the corporate ladder. Working in healthcare is tough, and while it could be assumed that these people would be happy doing what they love, it's common for healthcare employees to tell organisations on employee satisfaction surveys that they don't feel appreciated and display a negative organisational culture. However, this isn't the case in the organisation that I'm speaking about today, as the most recent employee satisfaction survey, which was completed in 2017, the organisation received a score of 65% engagement, which indicates an organisation with a culture of success. This type of culture is described as having large numbers of employees that are optimistic about the future. There is a strong sense of success and achievement. Employees are positive and proactive about tackling problems, and the workforce is a very close-knit, team-focused and cohesive team. As far as an organisation culture assessment for this project, an organisation with such a healthy and positive culture is a great place to start. However, this hasn't always been the case. In November 2002, this organisation acknowledged its culture and levels of employee engagement needed improvement, and as such engaged the services of Best Practice Australia to conduct its first biannual assessment. At this time, the results indicated a culture of reaction, which is described as being a lot of organisational repair work to be done and often on the run, a lot of management time wasted on constantly putting out fires, and management is putting significant resources into improving communications with the workforce. With regards to what is working well within the current organisational culture and framework, there is a lot to report on. The hospital currently has its biannual employee satisfaction survey completed with Best Practice Australia, and this has received many great results in the past decade. Much of this positive organisational culture is attributed to the leadership from the CEO, who has a strong focus on employee engagement and culture, as well as the management framework and standards of behaviour that have been introduced to the organisation over time to show employees what right looks like. While the Best Practice Australia survey is a great way to assess and report on organisational culture and satisfaction of employees, only completing this process every 2 years means that it's a long time between assessments, and given the rapidly changing landscape of hospitals and healthcare, this can be a bit long to act or assess on the impact of changes when identified. As such, the introduction of an organisational culture assessment framework and tool, including the introduction of an annual pulse check, has been recommended to further enhance and build on the culture of this organisation. In addition to this, while BPA do a very effective job of sharing the results and reports with the management team don't do a very effective job at communicating this information and resulting action plans to address feedback to their teams, which is not on a communication issue, but which is not only a communication issue, but also affects the return on investment of the program. And as such, this will be a strong area of focus of this assessment plan, and adding these results to managers' annual key performance indicators and the resulting relevant action items to their operational and 90-day plans for consistent, planned and monitored follow-up. The assessment framework will be implemented to complement the current structure of the BPA survey, which occurs every 2 years in October or November, by occurring annually in April, so that it not only provides a picture of the organisational culture and progress since the previous BPA survey in the previous year, but also providing a snapshot into the projected results for the next BPA survey when conducted early in the second year of the program, but with enough time to still further address previous feedback and implement initiatives to continuously improve the culture. More timely, regular and consistent feedback when acted upon appropriately and effectively will continue to improve the culture of the organisation through a focus on the fundamental levels of culture as well as the key indicators of a strong culture. The success of this plan will be dependent on the implementation, strategies and buy-in of key personnel and employee groups. So it will be important to engage the hospital management team, second-tier leadership team being clinical nurses and service area team leaders, and the staff on the floor in the process through providing education on what it is we are looking to achieve through introducing this tool, as well as why we are doing it and the benefits to the whole organisation. This would be achieved through mixed delivery approach, including information sessions with the human resources team, flyers and promotional materials distributed through the organisation, focus topics in huddles and team meetings, and regular communication to employees from employees within the human resources team leading up to, during and after the period that the assessment would be taking place. While financial incentives can be a strong motivator for many employees, it's not the only effective motivator to influence performance and, importantly, the culture of a workplace, particularly in a healthcare environment. So an effective and appropriate leadership approach aligned with the goals of the organisation is vital in the continued positive development of the culture of this organisation. Thank you for listening to this presentation. I hope you found it informative and useful and provided you with a better understanding and working with the culture within your organisation. Thank you.